Hello, good morning, everybody in room 6. Happy Monday, and this is the very last week of school for this year. I would like to read you another story, the last one I'm going to put on Zoom, at least for this year. And this is by another local artist, author, I should say. His name is Stephen Riley. And this book, the setting of this book, takes place in Yosemite National Park. And some of you may have been up there and been to the park and seen some of the landmarks that are there. And some of those landmarks are also in this book. And at the end of the book, Mr. Riley has put in some drawing art lessons, and I'm going to scan those to my computer, and then I'll upload them on our Facebook page so you guys can practice drawing. So here it goes. So this story is called Little Ty Cooney and the Big Yosemite Race by Stephen Riley. And Mr. Riley was also kind enough to autograph this for my son Marcus. It says, "To Marcus, always seek adventure, Stephen Riley." So this is a nice collectible for my son when he grows up. Actually, he's already grown up. There was a day in the month of May when the Yosemite animals raced. El Capitan is where it began, and they all lined up before they ran to make sure their shoes were laced. So if you've ever been to Yosemite, when you come into the park, the first thing you see is El Capitan. And a lot of people like to climb that. I would be too scared. I couldn't do it. The morning was bright. 'Twas a beautiful sight to watch the sun come up. Tension was high. The clouds drifted by while all the runners warmed up. The race was long. The race was hard. It was only for the courageous, for only the strong could run so long on routes that could be so dangerous. Anyone recognize? Sorry, the sun's shining. This is Half Dome right here. This was my son's favorite landmark in Yosemite. He used to draw pictures of it all the time. So there they are. They're lining up, getting ready to race through Yosemite. Yet upon this day raced one so young, the others thought he was loony. No chance did they give that he'd ever finish or live, and this brave young lad's name was Ty Cooney. But he was determined, this little raccoon, to overcome this circumstance. In his heart he knew, as the whistle started to blow, that he'd have a fighting chance. So there he is. There's Ty Cooney. He's determined he's going to win the race, or at least finish it. For he had practiced long and hard, and time again, till he could run his route without even a doubt, and he could run it like the wind. There was a morning glow on the valley below as Ty mounted his goat. They started the race down the Capitan's face while Ty held on to its throat. So here he's been practicing, and here is the start of the race. They're going to go down the face of the mountain on a goat. Oh my goodness, how scary. No thank you. He made it down first, and he wasn't the last, but there were some others ahead. He was sure there were 4, and quite possibly more, so he sprinted on toward the Merced. The Merced is a river that runs through Yosemite. He jumped in the river. Man, is it cold, he thought, as he fought its flow. It came from the hills where the great water fills, and the falls with springs melting snow. So here he is. He made it down the hill. And here he is, swimming in the Yosemite. And the water comes from the waterfalls as the snow melts off the mountains. And it is very, very cold. He jumped from the river and passed Mr. Bear, who was caught completely off guard. You could see the surprise in his big yellow eyes. as he was passed like a bucket of lard. A Wani lunch sounded good, as it probably would, but he knew he'd have to forget it. For with others to beat, there was no time to eat. If he stopped, Ty knew he'd regret it. So there he is. He passed Mr. Bear. And here is a Wani village. There's a village in the center of Yosemite where they have food and different things that you can visit. But Ty had no time to stop and eat. Suddenly, Ty felt the need for some serious speed, and he began to snarl and sneer. He was hauling real tail as he burned up the trail and kicked it into high gear. Then, just like that, he passed the bobcat as they turned up the John Muir Trail. Ty just couldn't miss. With all his practice, he was sure he wouldn't fail. There he is. Look at how fast he's going. Oh my goodness. There's the bobcat. Bobcat looks all worn out. Then, by Vernal Falls, he passed Mr. Squirrel, who was looking so thin and frail, as he panted and swayed in the water that sprayed from the falls along the misty trail. To his right was Nevada, with its tall, dark cliffs, and its water that thundered and fell. Then a smile from inside crossed his lips from the pride that one feels when one is doing well. Okay, so here's the Vernal Falls. Past that, past the spray. Another falls. If you've ever been to Yosemite, those falls are absolutely incredible. They are so much fun. They come down and the spray that comes off of them and you get wet. Oh, it's fun. He could feel his heart beat right down to his feet. He wondered how long he would last. Then on ahead toward the lion he sped. He was tired but still running fast. I'll win, he thought with a grin as a redwood watched him go. So he picked up the pace at the end of the race while the lion was starting to slow. There's the redwood tree. Redwood trees are some of the largest trees in the world and the oldest. Then, because of the lion's refusal to train, he just couldn't take any more pain. So among Half Dome's many switchbacks, the lion stopped and collapsed in his tracks. Then with a burst of magnificent speed, little Ty Cooney took control of the lead. Then Ty had to stop right there at the top of Half Dome to find a way down. He found a great bird, though it does sound absurd. They flew off the cliff towards the ground. So there, poor lion, he's worn out. And there's Half Dome up here. And Ty Cooney hitched a ride with the bird to get down. Pretty cool. Ty was feeling so fine as he crossed over the line, and a smile broke from within. Though Ty was so small, he just beat them all, and that's why this book's named after him. So ended the day in the month of May. The big race was over and done. It was a big day for raccoons. They set free their balloons, for little Ty Cooney had won. Yep, there's the finish line. And they're all cheering, woohoo, Ty Cooney. The end. And here, like I said at the end, Mr. Riley has done some artwork for you. And I will scan all of these pictures and upload them to our Facebook page so you can practice drawing Half Dome and Ty Cooney and other creatures. So I hope you enjoyed this story. Like I said, this is from another local author. We have lots of local authors, people who write stories, and artists in our area that we need to celebrate because they're very important people. And this was an awesome story, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye for now.